Hello everybody, my name is DJ Bones and welcome back to another FiveM video. Today I'm going to be showcasing my new Bones Workshop loading screen, and I wanted to take a walk through it from a development standpoint instead of just showing visuals. The main objective of this project wasn't to make something that looks good, it was to rebuild a loading screen in a way that is structured, maintainable, and production ready. A lot of FiveM loading screens are either over-designed or poorly structured under the hood. They rely on heavy libraries, unnecessary animations, and messy logic tied directly into the UI, but this one does not. It is built with a clean HTML and vanilla JavaScript, no bloated dependencies, no pre-frame polling. Everything reacts to actual load events coming from FiveM. That is what keeps it lightweight and stable. The progression bar is properly tied into the loading screen event flow. It updates smoothly and doesn't jump around or fake completion. If an event arrives slightly out of order, the UI handles it gracefully instead of breaking down. The layout is intentionally simple and structured. You've got a strong header with the server name and tagline, a central progression section with percentage and status text, configurable rotating information panels, and a footer area for music controls and links. Everything is modular. Tips and info panels are defined in the config. The playlist is defined in the config. Accent colors, background modes, links, all config driven. You shouldn't have to touch core logic just to rebrand your server. The music system is also intentionally lightweight. Native audio elements, simple controls, volume sliders, mute toggles, no massive audio libraries layered on top of it. From a structure standpoint, this resource is very clean. You've got your FX manifest, a config file, a web dictionary that separates the HTML, styling, logic, and assets. No mixed inline scripts anywhere, no styling crammed into just HTML. Performance was a priority. There's no aggressive animations bogging down the server. Background effects are very subtle. Nothing is chewing unnecessary CPU while players load in. The project moving to public release means it's meant to be adaptable. It's not locked to one server's identity. You can brand it however you want without fighting the codebase. At the end of the day, this isn't about making a flashy intro screen. It's about building something stable, clean, and maintainable, something you can actually ship to a live community without having to worry about it breaking the next time you update something. That's the idea behind this release. It is simple where it should be, configurable where it matters, and structured the way a production resource should be. And now, I'm going to show you a little bit of the config here. So as soon as we get in here, we can see the config. You can edit your server name. You can change this to whatever you like. In my case, we're just going to change it to Bones Workshop. My tagline is going to be building things that matter. The server port or the server IP and port, what this does is if you set it to your server's IP address and port, it will display a live player count. And if you don't, it will just say online. And that's about it. The main accent colors you can change. You can either type in your own hex code or you can pick whatever color you would like. Your background style, you have three different styles. You have a gradient, you have particles, and images. Images is what you were seeing originally, but we'll change it to particles so you can see that. Down below is where you can see all of your images, and you can upload any style from JPEGs to PNGs to WebPs, GIFs, anything you would like. And you can also even adjust how often the images cycle throughout. The default volume for your video or for your audio can be adjusted here, and you can also turn on or off autoplay. Right here is where you'll adjust the titles for your audio tracks and where you can find those audio tracks. You can also adjust the names here if you would like. If you don't want it to say track 1, you can adjust that. The info panel on the left hand side, which we'll go back to that here. I'll show you that. That's going to be right here. The did you know, where you can add tips and tricks and all that. That's going to be all these cards here that you can edit how you deem fit. The rotating tips is on the right side. This is a little bit more difficult to see on certain pictures, but this is it right here. You have tip number 5, link to Discord or more info. And then your links in the right panel or the bottom footer. These will be correspondent to each other. So if you change the name up here, it will change the name down below. And you also have your icons that you are able to play with. And that is basically it for your config. Once you're done editing, remember to do Control S, or you can save it through the file options. And then we'll go back into the loading screen. For me, I just have it set up in my HTML on Google. So if I hit F5, it now changes to the particle effects, which we set inside of the config. If we want to change that back, we can double click image, Control C, Control V, Control S, and then we can go back to our loading screen, hit F5, and it updates. Every time you update the config for the resource and you want it to update in game, restart your server or restart your resource and it should be good to go. So that is basically it. As you can see, we have our Bones Workshop, building things that matter, up here in the corner. And the little image right here corresponds to the first letter and second letter of your thing. And that is basically the gist of what we're building here. It's a very lightweight thing. We have the time and date, and right here the status is where it will show either the player count or just online. Obviously, if you're joining the server, it is online, so I recommend putting in that IP address so you can see, or so your members can see how many people are on at the time of when they're joining. So that is it for me, and I thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this new loading screen script.